The concept of stewardship is closely tied to the giving, as it recognizes that everything we have is a trust from God and that we are accountable to Him for how we use our resources. The parable of the talent teaches us that we are held responsible how we manage what God has given us, and that our faithfulness in giving will be rewarded. As stewards of God's resources, we are called to be wise and thoughtful in our giving, seeking to give our time, money, and ability in ways that honor God and advances His kingdom. The story of the Good Samaritan is a classic example of the impact of giving, as it shows us that giving is not just about meeting physical needs, but also about demonstrating love and compassion. The Samaritan's selfless acts of caring for the wounded man on the side of the road challenges us to consider how we should show kindness, generosity to those around us, regardless of their background or circumstances. As we reflect on this story, we're reminded that giving is not just about what we give, but about the love and care that we show to others. The widow's offering, as recorded in Mark's gospel, is another powerful example of the power of giving. The poor widow who gave her last 2 coins to the temple treasury is commended by Jesus for her selfless act, which is a greater gift than the large sum given by the wealthy. Her story teaches us that giving is not just about the amount we give, but about the sacrifice and obedience that it represents. As we consider her example, we're challenged to re examine our own attitudes towards giving, to ask ourselves whether we hold back or give generously. In the story of Barnabas, who sold his land and gave the proceeds to the apostle to support the early church Christian community, we see an example of radical generosity and commitment to the cause of Christ. His selfless acts set a high standard for us as we consider how we can use our resources to support work of God's kingdom. As we look at his example, we're reminded that giving is not just about meeting needs, but about building relationships and communities, about demonstrating our love and devotion to God. The story of Zacchaeus, who gave half of his possessions to the poor after meeting Jesus, is another example of the transformative power of giving. His generous act is a response to the love and forgiveness he received from Jesus, and he demonstrated the impact that giving can have on our lives and our relationships. As we reflect on this story, we're challenged to consider how giving can be a means of reconciliation, healing, and how it can help us to build stronger and more meaningful relationships with others. Some people may argue that giving is only for the wealthy, or that is not possible to give if we're struggling financially. However, the Bible teaches us that giving is for everyone, regardless of our financial situations. The story of the widow who gave her last 2 coins shows us that giving is not just about the amount we give, but about the sacrifice and obedience that it represents. As we consider this, we're reminded that giving is not just about what we have, but about our attitude and willingness to trust God with our resources. In conclusion, the power of giving, as shown in the Bible, is a transformative force that can change lives and communities. As we've seen in various examples and teachings, giving is not just about charity and philanthropy, but about our relationship with God and our obedience to His will. By embracing the biblical principle of giving, we can experience the joy, freedom, and blessing that comes from using our resources to advance God's kingdom and demonstrate His love to others. I'd love to hear your thoughts on giving and how it has impacted your life. Please share your story and reflection in the comment section below. If you're interested in exploring more biblical principles and how they apply to our everyday lives, be sure to check out my other videos on this topic, where we dive deeper into the practical implications of living out our faith in a modern world. I want to thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless your family, and I'll see you in the next. Thanks.